So we are live. So we all are eagerly waiting for our lives to come back on track. Wearing masks and working from home aren't considered to be new normal. The virus had affected the world at large, and barely anyone had escaped from its effect. But it is always said that every misfortune comes with an hidden opportunity. The last 2 years have made us tech savvy. We all have figured out ways and tools which not only helped us in reviving our businesses but also have helped us in discovering new opportunities. A very good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all the participants who are joining in today's webinar. I, CA Tanya Gupta, on behalf of OptoTax, welcome you all in today's session on revival and scope of CA practice post-pandemic. Vadakkam, Namaste, Sat Shri Akal. Hope you all are safe and doing well during these tough times. Though COVID cases have gradually fallen to a great level, but we should always take due precautions whenever necessary because our health is in our own hands. So, as I can see, people have already joined in, and please keep using this chat box. So we are sharp at time. So let's wait for our friends to join in because we at OptoTax want to curate a platform where we all stand united and head ourselves towards growth and development. It's always said that if you want to walk fast, walk alone, but if you want to walk far, walk together. अगर जल्दी चलना है तो अकेले चलिए, but अगर दूर तक जाना है तो सबके साथ चलिए. So yes, good evening, Shripati ji. Good evening, Shagun ji. Please keep using this chat box. This is the only medium where we can communicate and interact with each other. Only when you will interact and connect with us, the session will be more interacting and live. So, hello Shagun ji, hello Harish ji, hello Muhammad ji. How are you all? I know it's Saturday afternoon, not afternoon, evening. So just have a cup of tea by your side and listen to what today's faculty has stored for you. So for till the time our friends join in. So till the time my friends join in, let me give you a little insight about OptoTax. We started with this initiative 3 years back after receiving the feedback from the professionals across India and working on their problems. And you will be astonished to hear that it is now empowering 50,000 plus tax professionals. They are now able to focus on aspects like litigation, practice management, etc., and leaving the compliance part on to us. We completely understand that in our chartered accountancy profession, upgrading our knowledge is the key to success. So, we created a platform where all the tax professionals stand united and share knowledge. Reason being, we always come up with such knowledgeable and insightful sessions, be it on GST, income tax, cryptocurrency, etc., with the eminent faculty across the country for the empowerment of tax professionals. And in order to help you grow your CA practice, we are bringing this unique series on virtual CFO. This 5 session series will allow you to transform your traditional practice to digital one. We just need your valuable time and that's it. Nothing else is required. So get yourself enrolled in this unique series and explore this lucrative field of virtual CFO, which will only broaden your scope of CA practice. Now it's that time when I would like to give the dice to our guest of honor for today, a chartered accountant who had so many achievements credited to his name that telling each one of them would take the entire session. A big round of applause, virtual applause for CA Amarjeet Chopra sir. Yeah, he is joining. There, I guess there's some connectivity issue with. So, um, Sir is a highly acclaimed chartered accountant for more than 46 years and is a senior partner of GSA and Associates LLP Chartered Accountants, New Delhi. He was the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India during 2010-11 and vice president the year before. He was the chairman of National Advisory Committee on Accounting Standards by the central government for 4 years till 30th September 2018. He has recently been nominated by Government of India as a member of National Financial Reporting Authority and also to a group constituted by the Government of India to make suggestions on consultation paper on auditing profession. A prolific speaker, he has delivered more than 2,950 lectures on various topics including accounting and auditing standards, IFRS, banking including financial inclusions, peer review both in India as well as abroad. He has been included on the roster of IMF as a resource person and has conducted missions in Mauritius, Bhutan. Um, he has contributed articles in journals and newspapers on matters of accounting, auditing, corporate governance, and has been a part of panel discussions on these subjects on some of the TV channels. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, sir, you can continue. You can, share your experiences with today's audience and benefit us.
Thank you, Tanya, and thank you, Navya, particularly. I think I was looking at one of his posts where he says that I am his inspiration. Rather, I feel inspired by the youngsters like him. Let me put it that way. Because these are the kind of youngsters who inspire the confidence in me that the profession is going to be in the safe hands in the times to come. And I can tell you, and I mean it from the core of my heart, the way he has taken up the challenge, particularly with regard to the GST issues, the way he has taken up this particular subject, it's absolutely remarkable. And I must thank him and thank Tanya and other members of the team for providing me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts, particularly the thoughts which are dealing with what is going to be the life post-COVID, so far as the chartered accountant profession, chartered accountancy profession is concerned. We all know what has happened in the last, you can say now, 1.25 years. Almost 15 months have gone. And those 15 months have been the most traumatic period of my life, at least. Not from any other sense, but if you are not able to go to the office, you are not able to go outside, I think it is absolutely traumatic experience. But at the same time, I must say that COVID has taught us many, many lessons. There's no doubt about it. And of course, it has got its own positives. The lessons are that the life is most uncertain. And in this life, whatever you can do till the time you are there, I think that's the best thing to do. Whomsoever you can help, please help. I think that's the message that it conveys to you. And how many people, how many amongst the chartered accountants themselves have actually helped the society? It's absolutely remarkable. There's no doubt in my mind. The other message that this COVID has spread is there's nothing to beat the, you can say, the company of your own people, the company of your family, the company of your friends, because now you long for that companionship with the friends. You want to go out, hug them, meet them, and you actually long for it. There's no doubt in my mind. And of course, it has provided an opportunity to stay with your family for a much longer time. I don't think in my lifetime I have spent so much of time with my family what I have spent in the last 15 months. And this kind, I don't think overall, if I have to look at my 41 years of marriage, basically, rather 42 years of my marriage, I've spent so much of time with my wife, which will be equivalent to the time spent in these 15 months. This has been absolutely remarkable. And I think it has been a matter of a great companionship, if you ask me. And then what it has taught us the lesson is the technological changes. Today, I am sitting at my home. You are sitting in your homes or in your offices. Navya is sitting somewhere else. Every attendee is sitting somewhere else. And we are able to chat to each other, basically. I think that's absolutely remarkable. The number of lectures that one has been able to deliver in this COVID period is more than the lectures that one could have delivered otherwise during an year. The reason being, in a day, you can do 3 lectures, 4 lectures, 2 lectures. And I must say, Dr. Girish Ahuja, you ask him how many lectures he must be doing in a day. It's unbelievable. The reason being, you can sit at your home, an hour you can speak to some branch, another hour you can speak to the other branch, and you are wasting no time at all in commuting. Otherwise, what used to happen was that one will get up around 4 o'clock in the morning, will catch a flight, go to some place for just an hour and a half lecture or 2 hours lecture, and then come back around 10 o'clock in the night or 11 o'clock in the night. And your wife also will be fuming. What the hell are you doing? For 2 hours lecture, you have spent the entire day, you have wasted my entire day. But today, I think she is also happy, and you are also happy, or the husband is happy, wife is happy, everyone is happy that you are sitting at your home. You are able to chat with each other, and the kind of branches that one have been able to reach out. One has been able to reach out to the branches like Udupi, where I don't think I could have ever thought of going. One has been able to reach the branches like Ahmednagar for that matter. I think it has been absolutely a fabulous experience so far as this COVID is concerned. But yes, at the same time, the kind of news which came in, which poured in, rather, I must say, in the second wave particularly, have been devastating. One has lost any good number of friends. I think that's the worst part of it in anyone's lifetime. If you lose your close friends, if you lose your any of the close ones, any loss of human life is bad. And I think because of Corona, many of the good friends have gone who have been extremely close, very frankly. So I think it has been a very mixed kind of an experience. But so far as the profession is concerned, let me come back to the profession, let me come back to the general life as such. What to say? I think when one looks at it, it was on 16th of March last year that one had actually closed down the office. It was much before Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister, declared the lockdown. We had closed the office a week before because we thought that it is not good to play with the lives of any of the staff members. After all, they travel by the metros, they travel by the buses, they travel by any other mode of transport. It is better to close down the office. And after that, how many days we have actually been to office, nobody knows. But the work has not stopped. I think that is the biggest thing which has happened. In between, one went to Canada for 3.5 months, one went to Bangalore for 2.5 months, and yet the work didn't stop, the webinars didn't stop, my meetings in the institute did not stop. I don't know how many disciplinary committee meetings one has attended through this technology. Had this COVID not happened, probably we wouldn't have realized the importance of the technology. All those people who used to crave for the branch audits to go out and do those branch audits have conducted these branch audits without going. Not only last year, even this year, a good number of the members who got the audit of Chennai or who got the audit of Bangalore or who got the audit of some other place went to the branches in Delhi and conducted those audits sitting over in those branches. I think it's a remarkable experience. One has learned the art of being updated so far as the technology is concerned. And when I'm talking to all the youngsters here, whenever I see Navya, I really feel so happy. Such a young face. The only regret that I may have in my life is that I was not able to attend to his marriage, basically. Anyway, when he celebrates his decade, if I'm around, I will definitely, because 25th year, I may not be able to be around, but definitely when you celebrate your decade, I may be around Navya. So one will like to join at that particular point of time. The point I'm trying to make out is when you look at these youngsters, you start thinking of what is going to happen to this profession in the times to come. I can tell you one thing. This COVID has impacted the business, it has impacted the profession in a very, very serious manner. Now, when I say in the serious manner, I'm telling you, I will touch upon both the sides, pluses and minuses, basically, because I don't want to be seen as a negative person. I'm a born optimist for that matter. You can be sure about it. See, business like hotels, business like tour operators, business like restaurants, amusement parks, cinema halls, malls, etc., they are virtually gone if you really ask me. You go to some of the hotels, the five-star hotels, and you look at the occupancy there. There have been times, and when I went to Canada, I checked up with one of the best hotels there. The occupancy was not even 5%. And how do you survive at 5%? I think that's the challenge that any hotel may be facing. And even in India, it has happened. In one of the months, forget the hotels, in one of the months, that was April 2020, not even a single car was sold throughout India. I think that was the kind of challenge. Today, this situation is changing, there's no doubt. And I think that the situation will improve. Look at the amusement parks, water parks, where the children used to go. Are they able to go today? I think all those amusement parks are lying closed. Look at the cinema halls, theaters. How many people are going? Even if they open up, how many of us will go around to the theaters? Ask the malls wallahs, and particularly the people who are having tenanted properties. Can they really bear the brunt of the attack? Can they bear the brunt of these rentals? No. So both the owners of the properties as well as the tenants of the properties are going to have a renegotiation in respect of the rentals. So when the rentals will be renegotiated, what is going to happen? Tenant will try to get as much concession as possible, and the owner will like to give as minimum a concession as possible. So there are going to be disputes. And somebody will say that these are the clauses which we cannot honor, and somebody will say that I don't. It's a force majeure clause, and someone will say it doesn't. It is not covered by force majeure clause in any case. Look at the insurance companies' business, both from the viewpoint of you can say the insurance claims, and also from the viewpoint of the mediclaims. The way the mediclaims have gone up, and the insurance companies have started thinking in terms of increasing or enhancing the premiums in respect of the mediclaim because of these reasons. And I think in the times to come, the new products will come in, that wherever these kind of situations arise, what is going to happen? This is the change in the business that you are going to say. See, the people, I will give you one very interesting statistics, what has happened in this country. When Honorable Prime Minister declared a lockdown, and people were feeling that, okay, you cannot go, 4 persons will not be able to go at a particular place at one time. In rural areas in particular, the car sales dropped like anything. But at the same time, the two-wheeler sales picked up like anything, because one will like to drive a scooty, or one will like to drive a motorcycle and go. One will not like to sit with someone, maybe his own brother, maybe his own sister, and sometimes not with his own wife also, not with his own son also, not with his daughter also. And that is the kind of change which happened to the Indian economy. And today also, very frankly, the number of people that you get in cars, you may not find those numbers which were happening earlier. These are all the changes which are going to happen. So I think you as chartered accountants will like to find out which businesses are going to revive, which businesses are not going to revive. And post-COVID, I can tell you one thing, that all the youngsters are going to be in great demand. That's the way I look at it. And I can tell you the seniors, the oldies like us who have lost their hair, they may find it very difficult, because the kind of technological changes which are going to come in, the kind of technological changes which will be required to conduct your audit work or other work, this will definitely require more and more of the youngsters to come in. There's no doubt about it. And I think the seniors will have to rely more and more on the youngsters. So be prepared for it. And the seniors have to be prepared for it, that they have to take the youngsters into their fold, and the juniors have to be prepared that they are going to get the opportunities with the seniors so far as this particular part is concerned. But at the same time, I would like to say, whereas this seems to be very rosy picture, when I say even for the youngsters, at the same time, on one side, because of the slowdown in the business, slowdown in the economy, the jobs are being lost. There are many people who have lost their jobs. So who loses the job first of all? The person who is the senior most. You will be surprised why a senior most person will lose the job, because when he go, I will not like to say the senior most will lose the job, but the people in the middle rank somewhere. Suppose a person who was there for last 10 years, he is likely to lose the job more than anyone else. The reason being, his salary has grown to a particular level. You cannot dispense with your senior most person. You may not be like to dispense with your junior most persons because of the salary considerations, because of the cost considerations. But you may start thinking in terms of that if at all I just do with this particular person, what is going to happen? I may be able to say 5 lakh rupees. And if I say do not keep the junior most person, I will be saving only say a lakh of a rupee. So you will try to find out who is one person for whom I can save another 5 persons. I think that's the kind of approach which is going to be there. So all those persons which are in the middle run, basically, they need to be there. And once they lose the job, it is very difficult for them to get a job, particularly when the economy is in a slowdown mode. My humble request to you all is, please be prepared for these challenges. These challenges are going to be there, but don't feel despondent. Don't feel despondent. There's no point in feeling despondent, because ultimately economy is going to bounce back. If not today, maybe in the next 1 year. To me, the challenge seems to be because of the growing level of NPAs in this economy. You may not believe that today also we have NPA level of 8 lakh crore rupees. Can you think of 8 lakh crore rupees? 8 trillion rupees? That is the level of NPAs. And this is despite the fact that in the last 3 years, the banking industry has written off, I'm using the word written off, 6 lakh crores of NPS. And we are not talking of today of 11 lakh crore rupees of agricultural advances, which are nothing but NPA. We are not talking of 6 lakh crores of DISCOMs loans, which are nothing but NPA. We are not talking of the restructured accounts during this COVID period, wherein we don't know what is going to happen, because whether those businesses will revive or not. I think these are the major challenges. And the banking industry has, to a particular level, may keep on supporting, but beyond a particular level, they may have to say, no, we are unable to support the business under those circumstances. That is one challenge that we are going to face. But yes, this provides me an opportunity. Provides me an opportunity for what? The feasibility studies, the restructuring studies, the acquisitions, because people will be able to acquire the businesses at a much lower cost than what they had been doing earlier. If earlier a particular business could be acquired, you look at today, a company like Dewan Housing, what kind of haircut the banks are going to get, and at what price Piramal is going to buy it. Look at Alok Industries, which has been bought by Reliance at 83% haircut to the banks, and that the Reliance had to pay only 17%. Look at Bhushan Industry, where the banks have lost 55%. The banks got only 45%. And out of that 45% also, they must have financed themselves only, basically, if you really ask me. In the first, you can say, bailout package under IBC regime, you know what was the haircut which the bank suffered? The bank suffered 94% of the haircut. That unit was sold out for 6% in Hyderabad. Now, this is the time when you can advise your clients. All those people who are innovative, who are visionaries in the profession, I can tell you, you are going to have a fabulous time when you can look at what industry you can recommend your client to be bought at, and at what particular price. I think these feasibility studies, the restructuring studies, the acquisitions, the mergers, these are going to be the orders of the day. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. And one thing that you may not realize, what COVID has been able to do, our turnover of the professional firms might have gone down, but at the same time, the profitability of the firms has gone up. Most surprisingly, I take a case. Suppose you have six partners in a firm, and all six partners were running the cars. And if today all those six partners are sitting at home and doing the work, basically, then what is going to happen? Maybe 20,000 rupees, maybe 25,000 rupees of petrol saved every month. What is the saving? It is 1,50,000. Your air conditioner at the office is not running. Your entertainment expenditure is not happening. All those expenses are not happening which were happening in the offices. I can tell you, with a much reduced turnover, the people have been able to earn more of the profits. Now you will say, does it mean that we will continue to have this kind of situation? I will not say yes. But one thing is bound to happen. You can be rest assured. The bigger firms in this country have already decided to curtail their space requirements by 25%. They are going to surrender 25% of their spaces. What is going to be the saving? Can you think of it? And why they are saying it? They have decided once for all that they will never invite all their staff members to come to office every day now. They will say, okay, a certain percentage of people will continue to work from their homes. What is saving here? I think what a change of pattern in the working. We had never thought that people will be working from home to that extent. Today in my own office, everybody is working from home, maybe more, one or two persons working from somewhere else. I think that is the kind of change which has happened. And this kind of rental costs which are going to be reduced, the kind of property values which may come down, for particularly the commercial property values which will come down as a consequence of this, the kind of rental values which will come down. Because if people are not willing to get these spaces, if suppose the bigger firms surrender 25% of the spaces, what kind of space is really you can say released? I don't think I have to tell you that. And what kind of rentals will be saved by them? And then they can even threaten, they can intimidate the owner that if you don't accept a low rent, we will surrender even a greater percentage of your other property also. I think these are all the things which are going to happen in the future. In the future, I think we are going to have lot many forensic audits, because of the fact that some people will like to take advantage of the COVID, committing certain frauds and still saying that this is because of COVID. Forensic audits number is going to increase, believe me, like anything as a consequence of this. I know some of the people who might have been doing it, that they have written off their stocks. They have written off their stocks under the pretext that there is a COVID position and we are unable to sell. Whether those inventories ever existed or not, that will have to be found out, basically, because they had been submitting some kind of inventory statements to the bank all these periods. People have started saying that our debtors are not paying. Now, whether those debtors actually existed or not, this will have to be checked up in the times to come. So similar things are going to happen. IBC professionals, after this particular period is over, because right now, of course, number of cases which are coming before IBC is much reduced because of the government instructions. But I can tell you, once this COVID period is over, the number of IBC cases which are going to come, that's the insolvency bankruptcy code cases which are going to come before NCLT, these are going to be absolutely mind-blowing. And at that particular point of time, whosoever is indulging in the IBC practice, the IRP practice, insolvency resolution professional practice, it's going to go up. And those insolvency resolution professionals will be giving the work for transaction audit, for the not only for transaction audit, they will be giving the work for the forensic audit also to the chartered accountants. All those things are going to go up. And valuation studies from the angle of the impairment. Because what has happened is that because of this entire pandemic, the values of the various assets, some of the assets have got impaired, because if your productive capacity has gone down or your product is not selling, you may have to get the impairment studies conducted. And if you are going to get your impairment studies conducted, someone is going to do it. All those chartered accountants who have been involved into the valuation practices, I think they are going to have a fabulous time in the times to come. And impairment studies are going to be one of the major areas of the practice. That you can be rest assured. And I will also like to tell you all what is going to happen is that government, to boost the economy, will come up with lot of public expenditure. Tremendous public expenditure will be required to boost the economy, because if you want to revive the economy, private investments will not come. If at all investment has to come, it has to come from the government. And if it is to come from the government, one thing is definitely going to be there. In those cases, in those cases, this public expenditure is going to be audited by someone, is going to be incurred by someone. Somebody is going to be employed for that particular purpose also. So the opportunities are going to be there. So this revival of the economy will throw out some of the opportunities, whatever opportunities I've been able to tell you. And then what will be most important is all those people who are in employment or in practice both, they may have to get into the cost reduction measures. All those who can conduct the studies for cost reduction, they will be in huge demand, that you can be rest assured. Because post-COVID, people will like to reduce the cost under all circumstances. And if you can reduce cost, I think there is nothing more than that, because the profitabilities are going to go down in any case in all the businesses. Profitabilities are going to be a real, you can say, challenge. So if at all you want to accept that, but for all this, one thing that I will like to tell you is you will have to update yourselves. If I say cost reduction, you need to have some kind of study for that particular purpose. Forensic audits also for that reason. Mergers and acquisition also for that matter. And insurance sector, I think role of insurance surveyor is going to go up. And lastly, that I will like to say is small and medium enterprises will not be able to afford CFOs which may be required. So a single individual may be able to look after the affairs of maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of the undertakings at the same time. And that one person looking after a CFO, the affairs of more than 2 or 3 of the entities, is going to be a great opportunity for each one of us, friends. So what I'm trying to say is, Navya and Tanya, that this is a period full of challenge. There is no doubt about it. But I think CAs are bound to meet the challenge. During our articleship, we have the challenge. It's a two-way challenge, basically. Number one, how to pass out the examination along with the training. But that's what I'm trying to say. I want to be trained properly, but at the same time, I want to pass out my examination also at the same time. I want to enjoy also. So sometimes I will like to bunk also some of the friends, and how my friends will help me out in doing it. My principal will ring up from the office. Where is so and so? And you will say, no, he has just gone to take tea, sir. Just moved out, sir. No, nothing else, sir. We have been all trained to meet those challenges in our life. We have been always balancing, trying to balance, because we started our career with one balancing activity, and that was trial balancing activity, basically. Trial balance used to be a major challenge. Today, you people don't even realize what is a trial balance. In our times, anyone who could reconcile a trial balance, who could tally a trial balance, was considered to be a very smart chap, basically. But yes, we are all used to this balancing, because balance sheet has also to be balanced. Credit and debit has to be the same. There's no doubt about it. Assets have to be equal to the liabilities. So my humble request to you is balance your life. Balance your life with your family life, professional life with your family life. I think that's very important. And I can tell you from the core of my heart, I today realize how much I have lost out and how much I have gained in the last 15 months. That's also a fact. So probably I'm trying to balance it out over a period of this last 15 months, what I lost out in 41 years of my life earlier. So God bless you all. Move ahead. Don't be scared of any of the challenges. You can be rest assured. These challenges are nothing. I think we are all capable of meeting any kind of challenge in this life. I'm very clear on this. If I can pass out in an examination in which only 3 to 5% of the students pass out, of course, now the percentage has gone up. I think where is the challenge? I can meet any challenge in my life. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. They really, really mean us a lot. Like how to live in this time when it's all there is so much mess around. So these your words of wisdom will only help us to look forward and grow and keep doing what the best we could. So as sir said, like as finance professionals, we understand that CFO serves a vital and indispensable role in the functioning of a company. However, many businesses either do not have the bandwidth to appoint a CFO or find themselves in a situation where increased number of projects amidst tight deadlines have stretched companies' resources. So there is where the virtual CFO services come into the picture. So this is the an emerging opportunity for all the chartered accountants, where we are conducting a series on virtual CFO for your benefits, where you can grow. This is the tremendous opportunity where you can grow your practice to a large. Now it's the time for me to call upon the faculty for today. I would like to call upon very humble, generous Ye Navya Malhotra ji in a very brief introduction. Um,
Navya, I will like to push off, if you don't mind, but I
No,
will
sir.
wish you all the best in all your endeavors. And I want to see you somewhere else, very frankly. That's all I can say. God
Thank,
bless.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Because I think we require professionals like you to occupy some of the seats. We require some of the dynamic people, the people who understand the profession. I think that's very, very important. People
Thank you,
who
sir.
understand the position have to reach some of the position. I don't want to spell out anything beyond this. So God bless you.
Means a lot, sir.
But
Thank
I
you.
will have to
Thank
leave at this particular stage. I'm sorry. I would have loved to hear you, but probably there are certain other constraints, and I may not be able to do that. But God bless. God bless Tanya. God bless Tanya, and God bless all other participants who are there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, in a very brief introduction, C. Navya Malhotra is an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India since January 2016. He has also done his graduation from University of Delhi. As a post-qualification course, he has completed his diploma in Information System Audit from the institute. Further, he has also completed his master's in commerce. He has successfully cleared the GST certification held by the institute as post-qualification certification. So over to you, Navyasri, for the deliberation.
Thank you so much, Tanya, and a very good evening and warm welcome to all of you on this wonderful interaction that we are going to have today. And I personally believe that we already have heard a lot of words of wisdom from Amaji Chopra ji, and indeed, he is one person that we all idolize. That we have to reach some pinnacle and maintain that pinnacle position. So, in his absentia, I would like to present my gratitude for his presence and his words of wisdom to all of us. Coming to the topic for the day and discussion, मैं स्क्रीन पे कुछ लिखूंगा साथ साथ और आपके साथ चर्चा जारी रखूंगा. चैट बॉक्स मेरे सामने खुला हुआ है, तो आप अपने चैट बॉक्स पे साथ साथ लिखते रहेंगे, so that we have quite interactive session today. Uh, yes. तो आई बिलीव आप सबको एक स्क्रीन पे कुछ दिख रहा होगा लिखने के लिए. आप साथ साथ कुछ ना कुछ जहां जहां आपको लगेगा कि कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है नोट करते जाएंगे. तो आज हमने जैसे कि चर्चा करी रिगार्डिंग पोस्ट कोविड या पोस्ट पैंडेमिक कैसी हमारी प्रैक्टिस रहेगी, या हम क्या क्या कर पाएंगे, कैसे कर पाएंगे. So regarding that aspect, we have to understand that we have divided our discussions, or we are dividing our discussions into major aspects of dynamism. जैसे कि चोपड़ा सर ने भी बोला कि टेक्नोलॉजिकली turnover wise, no doubt the practices have reduced, but the profitability still have increased. There are certain things that we need to understand. I believe आप साथ साथ देख रहे होंगे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज अबाउट टेक्नोलॉजी. मैं आज प्रैक्टिकली ये सारी चर्चा करूंगा. आई विल डिस्कस एवरी सिंगल एस्पेक्ट, हाउ यू फील द पोस्ट COVID practices have changed, how a new entrant into the practice has to actually start his practice and visualize his future in the CA profession. COVID was a game changer. मैं हमेशा all across the platforms which I have been deliberating, I always tell we don't have any loss to our profession due to COVID. But the only loss we have is that we have lost certain precious gems out of our profession. चमक तो वो आज भी रहे हैं, लेकिन अब वो सितारे बन गए हैं. हमारे प्रोफेशन में कुछ लोग हमने कीमती लोग खो दिए, बस ये एक लॉस जरूर हुआ. However, COVID had some positive impacts on our profession also. When I talk about technology, many of our professionals never thought about investing in infrastructures of technology. We always invested in the technology of routine nature. We never have invested certain things like servers. We have never invested certain things like work from home technology. So this is first of all which I would target: the servers, the work from home, the remote location working technologies. We all need to put in place that certain things in our bucket list. Rather than investing in huge big offices, we need to invest in technology first. Second, post COVID, we have certain aspects as an opportunity emerging. We have certain opportunities which have gone. That was not due to COVID. We have drawbacks also. Certainly, like the office culture. The office cultures have automatically changed. Earlier, we used to have things like office interaction, a formal culture. Now we are missing that formal culture. We have started missing the formal culture. Why? Because when we have work from home, we don't have that formal culture now. So drawback first is your formal office culture. These have been lost now. Second major aspect we have lost is my screen visible? Tanya? I
Your,
don't think so. It is visible.
your screen is visible.
अच्छा, लिखा आ रहा है उसमें क्या?
आप लिखिए अभी.
मैं लिख रहा हूँ तब से वो आ नहीं रहा है. आई थिंक
अभी वो कौन सा मैं आप पिक करूं?
व्हाइट बोर्ड 2 पे है. आई थिंक नहीं आ रहा है.
अभी व्हाइट बोर्ड 1 पे आ रहा है. आप व्हाइट बोर्ड 1 पे अभी दिख जाएगा.
ठीक.
ठीक है.
So it is now clear on whiteboard 1, I think. So coming back, मैं आपसे यही चर्चा कर रहा हूँ that dividing my discussion into technological aspects and futuristic aspects. Let us stop all this discussion here and we must start it by way of communication. Let us talk about it first. चलिए पहले discuss करते हैं, then we will think about what is actually happening. So when I talk always about post COVID, हमारे प्रैक्टिसेस में क्या चेंजेस आएंगे, पोस्ट कोविड हमारे साथ हमें क्या क्या दिखेगा. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमारे पास सबसे पहले
नव्या, आपकी आवाज म्यूट हो गई है. नव्या, आपकी आवाज म्यूट हो गई है.
धन्यवाद.
अभी आ रही.
So whenever I talk about yes, so कोविड के केस में जब हम बात कर रहे थे तो मैं आपसे ये बोल रहा हूँ that we need to first of all focus on one very important aspect, that is technology, investment in capitalized technology. Akshay ji, I hope now I am visible and audible also. Yes. टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ हमारे पास आता है थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज. जब हम थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज की बात करते हैं तो हमारे पास सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज होता है रिगार्डिंग द फिजिकल कम्युनिकेशंस. Whenever I started working as post-COVID, we have also opened the offices. As Chopra sir also said that 25% of the people, 25% of the spaces, the people are ready to forego for their practices. Yes, I totally agree that yes, physical interactions are now going to be in a blended manner. Let us talk about sessions. Earlier, we used to have the sessions physically. We never thought that a theoretical section or a session which is practical as well can happen on screen and all across the nation at one go. We never thought about that. But yes, today we can think about it. We have many areas and avenues where now we simply say to our clients that we have a blend of working. Will you believe one thing? I had encountered one chartered accountant firm. I cannot take the name, but yes, there is one chartered accountant firm. I came across that firm. He told me to have an interaction on Zoom. When I came an interaction on Zoom, let us say, they had a technology. I'm giving for instance, and I was very surprised that we still have to believe and accept that technology in our daily practices. He said, let us come, you come to my office through Zoom. I didn't understand that thing at my first place when he said. When actually he convinced me that join through Zoom, I said, okay, how should I join it? When I actually give the meeting ID and password, there was a reception photograph or something called, I'll say, wallpaper, where two of the persons welcomed me, greeted me to his office, virtual office, I can say. As Tanya said that you are going to have a virtual CFO series, I believe there is a kind of thing called virtual offices, a cloud office. When a cloud office comes into picture, I want to say you one thing. There was two person to greet me at that reception virtually, and then he asked me my name and my appointment. I told him I have an appointment with XYZ person, the partner of that firm. He then immediately transferred me to a room, a chat room, a private room where me and that partner was only able to interact. That was somehow certain things in Zoom like breakout areas. I never knew about that technology earlier. But I was very astonished and actually surprised that people have started accepting that as a virtual office and they have started greeting it and accepting it to our levels. Now, as Chopra sir said, that we are doing audits virtually. When I say post pandemic, the offices are opening. The first thing is blended technology. Blended technology comes to our mind when I say, let's take an example. You have a staff of 20 persons in your office. You have 20 employees to your office. Now you can start saying blend of work from home and actual coming to the office. When a blend of home and work from home and to the office and to the clients and to the department, Baljinder ji, hi, you totally have to accept one sincere aspect here also now. That is acceptance to work from home and office together. My staff sincerely asked me, sir, can I save my commutation time tomorrow and work from home and give you the much more greater output rather than coming to the office and going back, spending 2 hours in the commutation and money? Sir, can I go to the client virtually? Yes, everything can happen virtually now. So the first thing we need to, good evening Arpit ji, we need to accept is blended working. The second most important aspect post pandemic, the offices are opening. We have to understand the opportunities. Let me start the opportunities of a budding chartered accountant, a new chartered accountant who come into practice, or a chartered accountant who is in practice since 20 years. Both have to accept one sincere thing: faceless technologies, फेसलेस वे ऑफ वर्किंग. जैसे कि इनकम टैक्स में फेसलेस ई असेसमेंट हो गया, वैसे ही बहुत सारी जगहों पे फेसलेस वर्किंग टेक्नोलॉजी भी इनकॉर्पोरेट हो गई. फेसलेस वर्किंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ पीपल स्टार्ट आस्किंग मी, क्या हमारे पास कोई अपॉर्चुनिटीज नई आई है या हमारी कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी चली गई? जैसे कि जीएसटी ऑडिट हमारे पास 99 की अभी हमारे पास सिग्नेटरी नहीं है. Let me tell you the second aspect. Firstly, I discussed certainly about technology. Now coming to the second aspect. The second aspect is about we need to understand the emerging fields. The emerging fields. Sir, as Chopra sir also communicated in the starting that there are certain industries which are declining. There are certain industries which are increasing at a very sharper pace. Post pandemic, many industries shut down and many industries came up like anything. Let us take an example. The food sector, the hospitality sector, the hotel industry, the tourism sector declined with a sharp pace. However, e-commerce websites, e-convenience websites, many facility websites, grocery websites, all of these sector came up like anything. As also discussed, now people have become conscious of not traveling through public transport because they might have a transmission chances. People want to prefer their own conveyance, shared conveyance with their close ones. The automobile sector had a deep dive and then it's a deep increase with this pandemic becoming now at a declining stage. Third, when I say you have to firstly focus on technology, secondly, you have to identify the areas of opportunities. Third, the major aspect, preparation of your infrastructure according to the opportunities. Now, I'm not talking about technology, I'm talking about human resources. The technology itself cannot do everything. I know we have artificial intelligence into picture, but no technology can be driven without the proper human resources. The third major aspect that comes to my mind is about human resource. An appropriate infrastructure of human resource can give you a boost to your offices. How it can boost? Understand one aspect now. You don't have to now actually be present physically everywhere. But yes, you have to be present at your convenience, but with the presence of proper human resources. How? Let us take an example. I'm a partner to a CA firm, example, or I'm a director to a company. I cannot be present now. I cannot have my secretary everywhere around me. I cannot have board meetings. Yes, but I can now, on a switch of a button, on a click of a application, I can start attending the board meetings. Your involvement of human resource have increased. Except one fact today. Soon the offices have opened post pandemic. The level of intervention, the level of your presence have increased. Having a proper human resource will cater to that thing now. Now your staff expects you to see you daily online. Earlier, what you used to see in offices, the bosses are coming late, the timings were fixed, everything. Now, 24 into 7 presence in front of staff is a proper availability. How? Staff now thinks that we are available on technological aspects. If sir is not there physically, let us communicate him with Zoom app or some another communication app. How can they be connected? They have to be connected every time now. So first, technology. Second, understanding the opportunities. Thirdly, having appropriate human resources. Fourth, training. Fourth is about training. When I talk about training, that is a very important segment post-pandemic. Why? Because many a times we have recruited many of our staff during this pandemic situation. They do not have any appropriate interventions about our office cultures. Training comes into the picture now. When I say training, we have to not only train the soft skills, we have to train about the hard skills to the office also. Why? Because earlier the offices were like in an auto flow mechanism. The staff used to come, the earlier staff used to train them how to handle the situations, how to handle the clients, how to handle the infrastructure, and even how to handle a desktop or a laptop in the office. Totally, the situations have changed. Entirely, the pages have turned. How? When I say now the offices are working on a mechanism of blended technology, the staff is now in a habit of working in a exposure like home. So the infrastructure according to homely environment has to be incorporated. Coming to the opportunities, जैसे कि हम बात करें कि हमारे पास अब फ्यूचर में क्या opportunities हैं. So kindly start noting the opportunities. The biggest upcoming opportunity that we will be having is the taxation. The taxation would be a major avenue for our practices, no doubt. Why? Because post COVID, pre COVID, we have to understand the government has incurred huge revenue losses. Huge revenue losses, and the businesses were on deep down. They were going deep dive into their losses. And now, since everything started recovering, they are looking for the avenues of their increment of revenue as well. So the taxation litigation would be a very, very important segment. Why? Let us take an example, classification issues. Let's take an example in GST, we have classification issues that whether it should be a 12% item or 18% item. Department wants to contend that it is an 18% item. We want to say that it is a 12% item. Chartered accountants come into picture. Kindly note this thing. This is a beautiful avenue for our profession. Classification. The classification consulting is a beautiful area and the avenue for our profession. To an extent, we have to understand department will now start litigating on the classification matters. And my dear friends, classification is not just opening the Google, finding the HSN on SSE, rate आगे लिखा आ जाएगा and you start incorporating that rate. A humble request to all of you. The classification starts with rules of classification. There are 7 to 8 rules of classification that comes into picture. Can you understand? Big leading firms of our country charge just to tell what is your classification. They charge handsome amount equal to 50,000 rupees. They not only charge 50,000 rupees, but they also give a disclaimer that this classification is subject to the facts and circumstances produced by you. Classification is not an easy field. That is the upcoming field of our profession. The next major thing which I need to discuss about emerging opportunity was forensic audits. The forensic audit, not before post-pandemic, but earlier to pandemic also was an incremental field or a field which was an emerging field to our profession. Let us be prepared about the technological aspects. We used to have a reading about information system audits. We used to have a reading all about, let's say, slicing or phishing. We are not technologically updated in that extent. Let us have a brushing of that technology first. Forensics would be an emerging field to our profession. Thirdly, major upcoming field would be system stability checking. System stability checking is not a disaster recovery plan I am talking about. System stability, I am talking about internal controls in place, like suppose security threats we are having now. Soon offices had 2 years work from home entirely. The security is the biggest concern that have come into the picture now. Your staff is working from home. The client data is saved at his system or machines. The data integrity, the data security, the data authenticity comes into the picture now. Data leakage is a major challenge that we need to cater. So now the upcoming field is the system stability health checking. System stability health checking is also an upcoming field which many of the young chartered accountants are looking forward and are started catering and offering to the clients. Whether your system is stable existingly or it has gone certain breaches in it. If it has certain breaches to the information, that also can serve you as an opportunity. Coming forward, international taxations. When I talk always about international taxation, my dear friends, it is a biggest avenue and a hub for opportunity. Not only international taxation, I'm talking about income tax. I'm talking about excise, customs, and indirect taxes. Can you believe that I came across certain of the financial consultants, chartered accountants, or litigational experts who tell me that there is an avenue of huge earnings to an extent in the field of export incentives. Export incentives, they offer a field as a consulting and they enrich the client with the benefit of certainly like scripts, like advanced authorizations, like EPCG licensing. Just on my words, try it for once and you will understand that is a beautiful avenue to again make your practice lucrative. Fourth, यहाँ पर अब आपके लिए एक और चीज आती है importantly about taking the market research analysis. Market research analysis. Chartered accountants have started entering a field of financial stability and market research. They do the viability studies of your business. It's an upcoming field. How? Let me tell you very frankly that certainly when we have now any project being getting implemented, take an example, a school. A new school being set up consults, appoints a chartered accountant now to check its viability. Sir, we have theoretically read many times break-even analysis, but we have not actually got it implemented practically. But whenever I talk about break-even analysis or any kind of that thing implemented and practically checking it, it's a beautiful analysis. It's a beautiful analysis to that extent also. How? Whenever I say break-even निकाल के दो तो वो ये बताती है कि इस स्कूल को खोलने के लिए आपको इतने स्टूडेंट्स मिनिमम चाहिए होंगे to actually run into the profits or to recover the cost. And that becomes an avenue, and that becomes an avenue of learning and earning. Learning and earning. Understanding the feasibility studies. Firstly, I talked about the new technologies being implemented, the opportunities, then the human resources, then understanding the deep intricacies of future of our profession. Now, let me talk about how to build the practice post-pandemic. Being more than now 5 years into practice, I have realized one thing. In this profession, we have to understand and accept the aspect of survival of the fittest. It's the rule of nature that survival of the fittest is the only golden rule. And when I say survival of the fittest, we have to be the fittest to survive in this problematic situation. In this problematic situation, when post-pandemic, we don't have proper infrastructure in place, proper resources in place, and suddenly came a situation you have to lock down your office and sit at home and then work. We could not imagine the things, what is happening, how to work, how to implement, how to deliver. But 2 years gave us a good learning of how to implement these challenges. How to work upon these challenges have been catered in this phase. And when in this phase, we have come up with the development of learning curve of how to challenge these situations, there comes one new opportunity. There comes one new opportunity how to set up a practice post-pandemic. Many of our chartered accountants or professionals actually became chartered accountants, entered the glorious profession in these 2 years, these dark 2 years. Now they have a challenge in mind. Should they go to employment or go to the practice? They are confused when we even want to start our practice. How can we have a practice? Take my words. These are the most beautiful years you can enter into practice. The coming 5 years will be a glorious field of our profession. How? When you now open your practice, you now don't have to invest in good amount of infrastructure. Have a good technology, have one good system, good server, good laptop to give to the client staff, and start delivering the clients on virtual platforms. However, still you need one place to sit and have a proper working workstations. Let me be very frank. Some of our friends are working in leading firms and they have not opened their offices from past 2 years, but still they're working 100% efficiency. How? Because they are given infrastructural support to the employees to work from home. They reimburse, let's say, take for example, setting up of table, chair. They have reimbursed such amounts and the employees have set up a proper infrastructure at place. As Chopra ji also said, we are not now using the air conditioners of our office. Rather, we are using many other things at our home itself. The cost of repairing and maintaining the offices have gone down. The conveyance cost have gone down. Now you can simply set up the office very easily. First challenge that comes to your mind is about infrastructure. That I have answered. The second thing which comes to your mind about setting up an office is regarding staffing. Now the commutation have been a hindrance, have gone down. It has totally eradicated the problem, the hindrance of commutations. One of our office staff is now working from 60 kilometers away, coming office only 2 days a week and working 4 days from home. We are very satisfied with his work performance. You can now recruit person here sitting in Delhi to Bangalore. You can recruit the person from Bangalore, start working, and then you can have much more cost-effective staff and working in an efficient manner. You now can have an infrastructural development of part-time working in office. And when you have part-time working, now you can have part-time facilities also. You can engage certain employees who are working part-time, who work part-time, and they can save your cost. This is the technological as well as resources aspect. When I come to the last point here, the last point would be engaging the new clients. The engagement of client is very important. आपने ऑफिस खोल लिया, सिस्टम खरीद लिया, सेटअप कर लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया, वर्क फ्रॉम होम में हायरिंग कर ली. How to actually engage new clients is the major challenge. Engaging the clients start with brand building. There come a role of specialization. Understand now our profession is similar to like a doctor profession. Not only MBBS would suffice. Now you have to do specialization. I myself do a specialization in indirect taxes. Might be you are good at income taxes. Another person is good at FEMA. Another person is good at capital market. Now you have to have specialization. I come across many new, fresh chartered accountants. They totally have a belief and say, sir, now I want to do international courses. Today I met a chartered accountant who said, I want to do something in capital markets. When I said you want to do something in capital markets, have you ever planned about CFP? Let's say for an example, certified financial planners. He said, yes, sir. I have thought about CFP because it is an international accredited degree. When I say international accredited degree, he said, not only I am going to gain degree, I have to gain the knowledge also to get the international implementation to our economics. Many of our chartered accountants have good brains in information technology. Specialize and do DISA and then do CISA. So you have to engage yourself. Can I tell you one fact? I met one chartered accountant who did TISA as well as CISA, then who did expertise in information technology audits, and now he is empaneled with the courts, Indian court, judiciary, to just carry the forensic thing in relation to information technologies. He is one specialized person to do information technology related forensics. ऐसा नहीं है कि उसने बहुत बड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सेटअप किए. He just had an infrastructure that is in mind. He now incorporated many kind of resources in his mind. I have always read something called sharpen your axe. Means अपनी कुल्हाड़ी को हमेशा हमें sharp रखना है. And our sharpen axe is brain. Our market is our brain. We have to invest stock of knowledge in our brain. Lead to specialization. Lead to specialization, and that will be the key to success post-pandemic. There is always a difference between a chartered accountant and a good chartered accountant. A good chartered accountant have good specialization. I always never say that go to litigations, go to judicial aspects, go to appeals. Can you understand? I met a chartered accountant. This is what I wanted to share and was waiting to share with all of you. Business outsourcing. I met a chartered accountant who is now doing offshore outsourcing work in India. People used to say that it has saturated. I never say it is a saturated field. He is doing marvels in this field. Why? Because he have good infrastructure, good knowledge. He first himself cleared with international degrees, and then he pitched the clients accordingly. And at his face value, you will not believe, he has a turnover of more than 3.5 crores annum. 3.5 crores annum in his initial years of practice. He have his own business now surviving. Can you get this point, sir? Yes. Is it clear? Moving further, आपको अब ध्यान देना है. स्पेशलाइजेशन से आगे बढ़ेंगे और अब हम जाएंगे टुवर्ड्स न्यू टेक्नोलॉजिकल एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल एस्पेक्ट्स. जब हमने पहले टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करी, अब हमने बात करी उसके बाद रिगार्डिंग, हमने बात करी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, उसके बाद हमने अपॉर्चुनिटीज की बात करी, अपॉर्चुनिटीज के बाद हमने बात करी चीज़ों को जो हमारे पास नई नई सेगमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, और जैसे नए सेगमेंट्स डेवलप हो रहे हैं स्पेशलाइजेशन हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो गई. जब मैं इन सबको ब्लेंड करके आपके साथ एक पेश करता हूं और आपके सामने आई प्रेजेंट वन इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट, दैट इज योर कॉन्फिडेंस. The last and the major aspect would be your confidence in practice. When I say confidence in practice, it requires huge courage post-pandemic, huge courage to understand that nothing is predictable. Why I said confidence and nothing is predictable? When I say nothing is predictable, you never expect any client who was working in a 5 crore plus turnover in the service sector and shut down his business. Certainly he shut down his business, certainly due to incurring of huge losses. He was one of your major clients and he lost your business. You lost his business because unpredictability exists. So I urge confidence and understanding. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected, and now then only you can succeed. Before we actually head towards the query session, Tanya, how much time, Tanya, we have? Tanya, we have some time.
Yeah, we have time.
ठीक है. Before we actually head to time, let's share one thought with you. To have an effective practice, you need to understand one certain aspect. Never ever steal the clients of anyone. We have to only pitch the client, not steal the client. Let the client come to you because of your reputation and your brand image. Never pitch the client by genuinely saying, yes, Vimalji, I will summarize today's topics. Okay. But never ever try to steal the client. I came across one of the very beautiful thought which I would share with you, and then we can go to summarizing and query session. I came across a senior professional who guided me when I started my practice. He said, Navya, come to my office, sit down, have a glass of water. Drink the water, but never steal the glass. Because if you steal my glass and you come to my office next time, I will not even offer you water. I hope you're getting what I want to say. I want to clearly instate one point here. I clearly want to instate one point here. Don't ever run for clients. Run for quality. Run for quality. And if you will run for quality, clients will run for you one day. With this thought, we can open to the query sessions. Vimalji, by the time queries people are typing in the chat box, and anyone who wants to interact and ask me any question regarding my story or any practice related, or how actually post pandemic, what are you facing as a challenge and can I answer that, please put it in chat box. It is open with me. Vimalji, let me summarize the points till then. Post pandemic, many things have changed entirely. First of all, the technology, servers, human resources. The second aspect which I discussed was regarding the upcoming opportunities. The third aspect which I discussed, I will go deep into one point one by one. Third point I discussed about the appropriate human resources. The fourth is gearing up and preparing yourself for the practice now. And the fifth was the challenges of stress and confidence, anxiety and unpredictability. Sixth, I discussed about pitching the clients, not stealing the clients. So first, when I discussed about technology, I sincerely said, don't invest anything more in infrastructures, rather invest more in technologies. Have good systems, good servers, good technological communications, good softwares to communicate with the staff. By that time, I also discussed data leakage and data integrity is at question. वो आपको ध्यान रखना होगा कि क्लाइंट का डेटा हैज टू बी इंटीग्रल, वहां तक आपको ध्यान रखना है. Next, I discussed about appropriate human resources. Now the staff is having a problem, और human resource के साथ I discussed training aspects as well. अब क्या है, staff जो आपने hire किया during the course of pandemic, they don't have the habit of having the formal cultures of office. Have the appropriate training. Secondly, have the appropriate human resource. Why? Because when I say appropriate resources, they will only drive your practice. Okay. Fifth, I discussed about the aspects of specializations. The specialization aspect is very important because now we don't have generic practices coming into picture. We have to specialize it. Okay. So let's start taking the questions now. Let us start taking the questions now. I had a question from Manish. How to convince the client for spending into consultancy service and show them monetary value of CFO service? Manish, virtual CFO is a very beautiful concept. Now you can cater multiple clients at your multiple convenient times. I can say you can serve multiple clients at sitting at one location, giving him a value addition. Manish ji, this is all about presentation. I'm not saying PPT बना के चले जाएंगे हम. It is all about presentation of cost benefit analysis. Give him a test run. Give him a trial run. Give him one thing. I can say I can offer you for free, let's say, or I can offer you at a very lower cost to understand the cost benefit. I can give you earn you. मनीष जी कुछ चीजें क्या होती हैं आपकी मार्केटिंग पे डिपेंड करती हैं. I know we are not allowed to do the advertisements, but your mouth advertisement speaks. Let us say I have done something good for some client, he can serve as a mouth advertisement. In that case, only and only convincing is about marketing your own skills by either way of samples, or either way I can say give him a trials or something at a subsidized cost. Then only he can understand that you are an asset, not a liability. Anuji is asking, how would one pitch to be a prospective client if cannot advertise a work that ethics do not allow? Anuji, wonderful question that I always have to cater when I say we cannot advertise. Yes, we cannot advertise. But can your mouth advertisement spread? Anuji, जैसे मैंने मनीष जी को बोला, yes. Take for instance, when I say you win a beautiful case in GST. That itself serves as a landmark judgment, Anuji. You can pitch in the clients with that expertise. आप एक एग्जाम्पल देखिए अनुजी. शुरू में जब कोई काम हमारे पास आता था, we used to do the work at very low cost, not just to serve the client, just to understand the work actually. And when we understood the work, we understood the intricacies, technicalities, we used to cater him with other clients at much higher cost, because firstly we need to understand the trade and business. When I discussed in the starting about export incentives, we all have read theoretically about Anuji about export incentives, but never ever we have worked into that because we never have that exposure. Firstly, take the exposure, then only you can convince the client. So you have to have some testing or trial runs that can only help you get the pitching of new clients at a higher level. Thirdly, Anuji, मैंने कितनी बार ऐसा देखा that chartered accountant to chartered accountant, there is serving of clients. There is sharing of work between chartered accountants also. Only that happens if you are specialized. Let's say any chartered accountant is specializing in indirect taxes. If he is a GST litigational expert, people would prefer him, to call him, to ask him, to check him, to ask any queries, or even to give him the consultancy or advisory work. So that also can help. Parmeshwarji, how to handle trace? I'm not getting it. Anuji, how to make ourselves present if we cannot meet physically? Anuji, beautiful concept. It is to be understood through technologies. When I said about technology, I was astonished, surprised, startled to see one fact, that Zoom have breakout rooms. Let us take an example. People have set up their virtual office. Try and put that into picture and you can easily pitch clients. Anuj, next. Rajinder ji saying feedback form, flash on cut practices. Okay, Rajinder ji, ठीक है. Anuj ji कह रहे हैं we are from northeastern region and scope of high end tech based work in our area is very less. Is that a major hindrance? Anuj ji, I keep on traveling to many remote locations and I am very again surprised to see not only technology, where the chartered accountants or the financial consultants are doing some off the beat businesses or work. Take an example, I sometime back met someone in a very remote location, a chartered accountant who was only and only catering to the clients regarding recovery management. I don't understand at that first place what is recovery management, sir. He said, Navya, recovery management is not just going to someone as a bouncer and getting the money recovered for some other person. He said, recovery management also includes, let's say your insurance claim is not getting cleared. Getting that cleared, let's say your refund with the GST department is not getting cleared. This is also recovery management. He said, let's say bank has deducted you an ad hoc charges, which was not your charges to be deducted. Getting that back credited to your account is also recovery management. Anuji, I was very surprised that he, as a chartered accountant, has developed that field also. So Anuji, it's not totally about small areas, it's totally about opportunities you want to capture. Is it clear, sir? Anything I couldn't cater or answer, please put it in the chat box. Or else put your feedback also in the chat box so that I can understand and I can improve whenever I come to you next time for the interaction. You can also note down my contact number. My contact number is 8447 137 367. Again, I'm repeating my contact number 8447 137 367. If I can be of any help regarding any professional advice, feel free to contact me as your younger brother or elder brother or your friend, acquaintance, anything you can feel like. Okay? So, Tanya, now on to you, please. Ronald G is asking, sir, working capital is a major issue in cash flow management. Is challenging to be specialized. Yes, Ronald Ji, we have to understand that the working capital becomes a very difficult challenge for a working new professional in practice. And I always say one thing: have a proper recovery management in your practice. Why? Sir, there are 4 aspects to the practice. One is getting the work, second is doing the work, third is invoicing the client, and fourth is recovering that amount. We all stay till the second or third stage. The first stage is getting the client. We easily manage the client. Okay? Executing the work, by hook or crook, do the work and deliver the actual deliverables. Invoicing the client. हमें ऐसा डर सा आ जाता है मन में, हमें भय आता है, हम उससे पैसे कैसे मांगे? आपने काम किया है सर, आप पैसे क्यों नहीं मांगेंगे? पैसे मांग लिए, इनवॉइस रेस कर दिया, अब उसको रिकवरी के लिए याद कैसे दिलाएं? Can you understand one aspect? Many of the CA firms, consultancy firms have a person just dedicated to just reminding the clients about recovering the amount. He keeps on calling the client. सर आपकी पेमेंट नहीं आई है, सर आपकी पेमेंट कब आ जाएगी, नेक्स्ट कब पेमेंट आ जाएगी? You have to cater this aspect, the 4th major aspect, that is recovering them. Otherwise, in our practices, what I have realized, keep on working for free, client will never pay you. And he has time, he has money to spend the vacations in Goa. But whenever you ask him the money, he said, I have overspent in Goa, Navya. I cannot pay you now. My child asked me for a water sport activity, which costed me a huge amount, and I have saved that money for you. I have spent it there. Keep asking regular amount of money. Never say, sir, it is my experience, what I have incorporated. Never ask for fees annually. Ask for fees in a shifts or proper breakups. Quarterly, monthly, half yearly, but never annually. लास्ट में पहुंच के काम तो हो जाता है, लेकिन उसको आपका कभी काम पसंद ही नहीं आता. सो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे ही सेज, यार ये कमी रह गई. इससे अच्छा है आप रेगुलरली रिकवर करें. एंड वन थिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, आस्क फॉर द इन्फ्लेशन फैक्टर. इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न फाइल करने के चार्जेस आज से 10 साल पहले भी 1500 रुपए थे, आज भी 1500 रुपए ही. We have never asked for the inflation factors. Keep a target that every year the fees has to be increased. And if you are not asking it, I'm very sorry, then your practice is going at a downfall. Keep year-on-year targets of your turnovers and profitability. Let it increase every year. Anuji, कह रहे हैं अनु जी कौन सी क्वेरी है आपकी? Okay, we have started to take up work from the whole of the North Indian and work virtually as they're accordingly accounting. I have found whole lot of scope in this North Indian. Now, how to excel more this? Here we have a whole base of tribal clients who do not come for income tax but still have to pay GST and need GST consultant. Anuji, then you have to actually identify. Now you have identified the niche area there. They don't come up for income tax. Either you can make them aware of the income taxes. If they do not still want to pay or file the returns or something of income tax, go and develop the GST and GST consulting only. सर मेरी बात समझ के चलेंगे, मैं आज आपको एक चीज समझाता हूँ. लोग मुझे कहते हैं नव्या जीएसटी में स्कोप डाउनग्रेड हो रहा है. मैं हमेशा सबको कहता हूँ जीएसटी ही एक ऐसी फील्ड है जिसमें स्कोप अपग्रेड हो रहा है डे बाय डे. आप सब एक चीज एक्सेप्ट करेंगे दैट एक्साइज लॉ was implemented in India for 70 odd years. Still the Supreme Court has to come up into the play and tell us what is the manufacturing activity. अभी तो जीएसटी को आए 4 साल हुए हैं, 66 years तक तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक लिटिगेशंस जानी है जहां पर ये बताया जाएगा what is the supply. We have beautiful scope in indirect taxes. I never feel bad about saying one thing. Please don't leave indirect taxes as a scope that it will never grow. It is the only scope which will ever grow. Ever grow. Why? Because in this generation of chartered accountants, we have to understand indirect taxes and exports, globalization, outsourcing, other international trade businesses. These are the only upcoming scope. One last scope I would be very beautifully telling you all is about technology again. I have came across many clients who are working, let's say, on YouTube, and they are earning good source of income. They can act as a very good lucrative clients to you, sir. They don't have appropriate plan, appropriate setup financially. Guide them, help them, let them grow, because our profession grows when our client grows. Client बढ़ेगा तो आप बढ़ेंगे. ये सबसे बड़ा golden rule है. आप उसके financial tax doctors हैं. Let him grow, you will indirectly or directly obviously grow. Tanya, to you now.
Thank you so much, Navya, for the wonderful deliberation. I could see people asking their doubts, and I guess this is one of the topic which, like, pandemic had affected every one of us. Either we are doing practice or even if we are in our jobs or anything, but this pandemic COVID had affected us deeply. So, like you told us about the opportunities, about the technology advancements, it's like it's always said that every misfortune comes with a hidden opportunity, right? हमेशा कभी भी कुछ डिफरेंट या फिर कुछ ऐसा होता है जो हमें लगता है कि बहुत गलत हो रहा है, लेकिन अगर हम उसमें ढूंढना चाहें तो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ एक नई अपॉर्चुनिटी हमें ज़रूर मिलती है. And like you told us about it, there were so many factors like how to increase and how to stay positive and keep growing, like indirect tax. जो लोगों को लगता है कि indirect tax are actually is not for CAs. They do not practice much for indirect taxes. So I always request everyone to keep focusing on your practice, keep growing, keep like I said, even we have this upcoming virtual CFO series. It is an emerging a tremendous opportunities for all the chartered accountants to grow your practice. This series, it is a unique series which will help you for sure to transform your your traditional practice to digital one. It is a very lucrative field for CAs to broaden their scope. And as Navya said that chartered accountants are the financial doctors, tax advisors. So why not to give the expertise of CA to to provide the best financial advice to your clients, help them grow and you grow as well. So if I guess many of you have already registered for the upcoming webinar. Many of you were asking, ma'am, what is the fee? So it's your valuable time. We are not charging anything. So if anyone have missed registering, please register with us and learn and grow your practice. With this, Navya ji had already shared.
तान्या,
Yeah.
हाँ, एक बार मोबाइल नंबर मांग रहे हैं देवशीष जी.
हाँ, आप चाहे उस पे लिख दो, उसमें व्हाइट बोर्ड पे आप लिख दो.
Can I write it?
हाँ, आप लिख दो. नहीं लिख रहे हैं?
लिख
हाँ,
पा
लिख
रहा
रहे
हूँ.
हो. हाँ.
एक बार ये
मैं वैसे टाइप भी कर देती हूँ. 88.
ये डिलीट हो जाएगा क्या? गलत लिख रहा हूँ. Should I write it now? It is 8447 137 367.
मैंने chat box में भी लिख दिया. I've written in the chat box. You can always contact him. He is there for you to help you in all your problems. He always stay connected with you. So with this, on a positive note, stay safe. Though gradually cases are going down, but stay safe. Take all due precautions and use this time to stay connected with your loved ones and keep growing and keep heading towards the success. On a positive note, I am redirecting you all to the website where you can register, and see you soon on 1st July, as we will be celebrating CA Day on 1st July 2021. It's been 72 years, so we will be celebrating, where we will be talking about many exciting things which will help you in your growth and development. See you soon on a positive note, very early. Thank you. Bye-bye.